So today I'm talking about a Kia with the P0137 code, what it is, and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Kia P0137 code? Well, it's an O2 sensor, circuit low voltage, bank 1 sensor 2. And what does this mean? Well, the onboard computer uses oxygen sensors located on the exhaust to know how much oxygen has been burnt off during combustion. And it's seen a problem with one of these, so I have to be troubleshooting, know why. And bank 1 is always the side of the engine with the number 1 cylinder, and sensor 2 is the second sensor going down on the exhaust. And some of the possible causes, well, it could be a bad oxygen sensor, could be in the wiring, could be a bad connection, and possibly a bad fuse. And so the first thing to do when you get this code is to go locate the bank 1 sensor 2 oxygen sensor. And there can be multiple sensors. It's going to depend on the Kia, so it's always a good idea to get a diagram for what's going on with your particular year of Kia and engine type. But 2 is very common, and basically what's going on with these is you're going to have sensor 1, which is before the catalytic converter, called the upstream, and then you're going to have sensor 2, also called the downstream oxygen sensor, that is after the catalytic converter. And so the one you want to go and locate is going to be this sensor 2 oxygen sensor. And once you locate it, the next thing to do is to check out the wiring harness, be sure it's all connected good, and basically just be aware that if there's an open, short, any bad connection is going to cause the same symptoms as a bad sensor. So just make sure that all looks good. Also be aware that it's going to be on a fuse. There'll be a fuse inside the engine compartment. And sometimes these fuses can be labeled kind of vague and it's kind of hard to know. Usually it's on sensor 1, which is right here. But there will be a fuse inside the engine compartment, and if it blows, then it can cause issues. So it's just something to keep in mind. And so once you check that out, if you check out the wiring, that looks good, there's no blown fuses, anything like that, then very likely this sensor has gone bad. You can test it if you want to. There's some good YouTube videos on how you go about testing it. But very likely at this point, if there's no issues with the wiring or no blown fuse, then the sensor probably just needs to be replaced. And one thing to mention is that these sometimes need a special tool to put them back in because they need to go around that wire. Not all the time. If you do have like a deep well socket, then quite often you could cut the wire and get this off. And then when you put the new one in, you can use an open-end wrench. It's really going to depend on which tools you have. But sometimes it could be recessed down inside of a hole, and you almost need this special tool. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Go look at it. And if you have to, then you might have to get the special tool. And so that's basically it. I just want to give a real quick brief overview of how you go about fixing a Kia with the P0137 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.